It is time, everyone, for a very special edition of our track reviews. This is the Speed Academy times DeBoss Garage track test of their quad turbo LS swapped Audi Quattro. What do you call it? The Quattro di Baccio? Let's get it on! Oh yeah! You guys don't know who DeBoss Garage is, you do now. This is Rich. Is your last name DeBoss? Is that where the DeBoss came from?
Yep.
And this is Stefan. I don't know your last name, Stefan.
That's fine, we'll keep it at that.
He's just Stefan.
If you finish and you're able to get back out of the car in one piece, we'll tell you our real name. Otherwise, we're just gone.
Yeah, I'm just going with Canadian Jack Black anyway. Have a close look, everyone. We play a little
Here in live,
yeah. All right, so you guys have built what is one of the most unique vehicles on planet Earth.
Yeah.
What made you decide to do this?
Well, back when we had 5,000 subscribers, we did a cover of Humberstone, Eve of Destruction, and a local auto wrecker said, you know, I love the video, and whatever you guys are doing, I want to be a part of it.
Okay.
So he said, I have the perfect car for next year's Humberstone Derby. I have this Audi V8 in the yard.
Okay.
And so originally we were going to put it in a Derby, and then Rob Ferretti put a YouTube project car challenge out and said, build a car and we'll race it.
Okay.
So I went to him and I said, you know that car that we were gonna put in a Derby, I want to turn it into a race car.
And why LS swap, quad turbo swap it? Just because you can?
Because we don't have any money and we were racing up against some big money.
Okay.
So we figured the only way to make an impression is to come up with something crazy. So if we were to show up with a Camaro or something, that'd be kind of boring.
Right.
So and we wouldn't really get on anybody's radar. By the time the race happened, we were at about 70,000 subs. And then we thought, well, we had to line up for another engine first. That doesn't really work. And way before that, I was walking through the wreckers and I seen a 4.5 liter Power Stroke diesel, and it had a 2-stage turbo on.
Okay.
And I thought that was pretty cool. Like first one turbo, then another. Yeah. So talking to Aaron, I said we got to enter this Quattro in the race. I think that 2-stage turbo worked pretty good.
Yeah.
He goes, well, it's a Quattro. You need 4. so we put 4 turbos in there. Still Quattro.
How did you do that?
So we cut off the front of the, actually, it's a pretty neat video, it's hard to explain, but I routed off all the ears on the 01E 6-speed Quattro transmission. It's Audi out of a TT, I think.
Okay.
And then I cut
newer than this car.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I cut the front half off of the bell housing off of 4L60 because they unbolt.
Okay.
And then I just welded that over top, and then I sized it all up, centered it on the input shaft, and then I cut the inside of the bell housing out, and we stuffed the twin disc McLeod clutch in there.
Wow.
So the transmission's built by Advanced Automotion down in Texas, so it was on a dyno for 800 foot-pounds of torque. Wow. So that should be able to handle it. We've got tranny cooler, diff cooler, 2 turbo coolers, power steering cooler, and intercooler and rad.
You build a Bugatti? That's like 12 coolers in there.
The brakes are off an SRT8 Dodge. I don't know what SRT8, the guy wouldn't tell me, but Kijiji special.
Okay.
We sent it back to Matt Happel and we tuned it on a dyno. We got 500 of the wheels on a Mustang dyno.
Okay.
So that's a little
Conservative
low.
Number,
Conservative number, yeah. Okay, so we're completely new to the race car thing. We're actually diesel mechanics. And this is our first kind of stab at the race car.
Yeah.
So it's not set up proper. We had an alignment done on it down at Pyatt's, but we don't know exactly what we're doing. So basically this is kind of a shakedown. We kind of did a few laps on it. We don't know what we're doing. We're hoping that you kind of get a feel for it. You tell us.
No pressure.
It's gripping, it's not. It feels heavy in the front, understeer, oversteer. I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
But then we'll play with it all next year. And then hopefully we'll get you driving again and try to get like a take 1, take 2 type of thing with it.
How do I turn it on, Rich?
So just the first one, this is your ignition, this cuts everything.
Okay.
You want to throttle it just a little bit to start it?
Yeah. Oh, she's like a caddy. I love it. So smooth. All right, boys. First of all, I guess I'll apologize up front for the audio because we got no windows in here, so we're going windows down. There's second gear. This is just gonna be a full send here. See what happens. Tell my wife I love her. Kiss my boys for me. I'll see you all on the other side. Woohoo! Oh, she runs smooth. Oh, there's the second turbo is kicking in. Woohoo! There's third. Wow, the pedals are in a funny position. The Germans like their pedals in weird places, I guess. slow because the throttle's so high. It handles well. It's got good turn-in response. The brakes are strong. The pedal's really high. I'm probably just sitting a little too close, frankly. Man, it's got good jam. And that's just on the first turbos, I think. You can feel when the second turbos kick in, it's suddenly got a bunch more power. There they go. The gearbox is pretty high effort. Rich was playing around with it a bit earlier, just trying to get it dialed in. Boy, it actually has really good grip. Oh, we're bonding with that. I think we just popped a coupler or something there. I heard something go bang in the back. I don't know if that was a coupler popping off one of the charge pipes. It feels like it's down on power now. Well, this is the quad turbo life. When the second set of turbos hits, it goes like a rocket ship. But I was out in the back half, maybe turn 4 or 5, and I went to the throttle really aggressively, and then I heard this like popping noise, like a balloon burst, and suddenly I had no power. So came back in, and turns out like the main, is that like the main charge pump?
Yeah, throttle body clamp.
Just blew right off the throttle body. So well, yeah, we're gonna just tighten a bunch of clamps and see what happens, and then we'll go again. So Rich scavenged a hose clamp off his truck. We are not sure if it's gonna hold or not, but we're gonna give it a try anyway. So going up here, I think I gotta give it a little gas. Easy peasy, send it. Good grip, good turn-in, no understeer at all there. It actually handles surprisingly well for such a big, unusual car. Brakes are really strong. It's got a little understeer there, as you would expect. It blew it off again, I think. Yeah. Sorry, Rich. She hit a little too hard there, buddy. She made another bang and pop.
That's a lot of fun though, isn't it?
Oh my god, it ripped so hard.
Oh yeah?
Those second turbos hit, it's a rocket ship.
It's awesome, isn't it?
You're going down the front straight, you hit the second turbos and it goes like, what the hell just happened? Well, Peter, I'm not on fire. There's no charring here. My life insurance policy is still intact, so thank you guys for keeping me alive. I appreciate it. It was an eventful day.
Yeah.
We had some things happening.
Yeah, we're learning.
We were blowing
just stupid stuff.
Coupler off the throttle
not
body.
my homemade piping, the factory like truck clamp that we bought at a truck shop.
Yeah.
It's good for like 60 psi on the factory intake, and it still popped off.
Popping off at 22 pounds.
Yeah.
But it handled all right. No oversteer, understeer, whatever those are.
I'm kind of blown away actually by how well it handled. It's got really good brakes.
Yep.
No sign of any kind of brake fade. Now I was only doing a lap at a time, and you'd usually see brake fade if you're doing like 3 or 4 laps. So,
Yeah.
But in terms of like initial bite and everything, I love the brakes. The throttle pedal's too high for me to heel and toe, so
Yep.
I'm just having a downshift the old-fashioned way, just jam it in gear and slip the clutch a bit,
Yep.
so you don't lock things up. But so you know, I would lower that throttle pedal so you can make it easier to heel and toe.
Yep.
The clutch pedal is really low, also compared to where the other pedals are.
Okay.
So it's like I'm having to really stretch to get the clutch in, but then the other pedals are kind of like in the right spot.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of doing this dance.
Yep.
So there's some like fine tuning you could do there,
Right,
but
right.
the handling balance was awesome.
Right on.
I was super impressed by the grip level it had. It didn't have like any bad understeer, so like the front end wasn't pushing as much as you expect an Audi to do. Audis are kind of famous for their understeer.
Right.
This no longer having that heavy motor over the front the way the Audi probably did originally. Maybe you've actually improved the balance of it with the setup, and you've moved some weight to the back.
Yeah,
whatever
that's right.
whatever you've done, whatever you mad scientists have done, it's actually working really, really well.
I'm
So
glad to hear that.
it would go into like a little 4-wheel drift, and you could mat the throttle, and the all-wheel drive would shoot you out of the corner. So.
Yeah.
If we could just keep it running for a lap, it would be fast.
It's too much boost.
It
You were popping boots, so we were cutting the timing at 22 psi.
Yeah, we're hitting over 22 psi.
and you were doing that at 4,000 RPM?
4,500 RPM in fourth gear.
That's
Boom.
crazy.
Or in third gear at 5,500 RPM.
Yeah, yeah.
But boy, it was fun until then. Like it pushes you back in the seat. It
Yeah,
feels
it's
really,
a fun car to drive.
I
I haven't driven many cars, but I'm having a lot of fun in that car.
it's a total party car. I think it's a riot. It's so close to going fast, but we do not have an official lap time for you because I never really got a clean lap in. I limped it around with no boost at a 130, and it'll easily go 10 seconds faster than that.
Nice.
Maybe 12 seconds faster than that.
Right
We
on.
don't know yet, but we'll find out when we have another chance to go for a rip in it.
Yeah, we need to do some boost control and I guess put all the clamps just a little bit tighter.
Yeah, tighten those clamps.
Yeah.
It was interesting being in there with the charge pipe going right by my leg, and I could see it sort of moving around as I'm drifting. The fire extinguisher was moving around in there.
That was my fault. I stole the clamp for the snorkel on the Tahoe when we went mudding. And I had a really nice like 3-inch clamp around it, but I'm like, oh, how do I hold the snorkel on? Oh, the Audi's down for a minute. I'm just gonna steal that clamp.
He's a recycler. He's the internet's #1 recycler. And I certainly appreciate the recycling that's happened here. Well, thank you very much, DeBoss boys. I appreciate you letting me go for a ride.
Yeah, we value your
pleasure.
opinion on it and kind of helping us kind of figure out what's left.
The driver mods really worked as removing us and putting someone that actually can drive, telling us what was wrong. So.
We got a lot of comments saying, "What? You guys don't know how to drive. Get Speed Academy in there."
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. Well,
it worked.
I'm looking forward to driving it again when we can keep it together for a lap, and I'm super impressed by how well it works. So
Good.
I'm stoked to try to get in the springtime because it's getting too cold. I think we're out of.
Yeah,
we're
I
out
think
of track
that's
season
about
here,
it.
aren't we?
Yeah.
If you want to see more of the Quattro DeBoss, you want to see Stefan's
Dirty midget.
dirty midget.
The dirty midget.
The dirty midget. He's putting an SRT 4 motor in it.
Yeah.
Out of a PT-GT, or as you called it, a Putukuju. So for all this kind of silliness, these antics, head to DeBoss Garage for more of that.